Konnichiwa! In today's show, we're going to be talking about why I'm going to be picking up and collecting for Sony's PSP in 2021. My name's Mike, and this is the Retro Gamer Boy Show. If you love your retro gaming, then of course you can subscribe to this channel, the Retro Gamer Boy Show, and you can join the Retro Refresh. Now, Retro Refresh is a community of like-minded retro gamers and geeks who love their nerd culture. You can check out the Retro Refresh at retrorefresh.online. So why am I going to buy and collect for the PSP in 2021? Especially when I have 2, 3, 4 PSPs in my collection. Well, I don't have the PSP 2000, and the PSP 2000 is widely regarded as having the best screen. I have a PSP Go, but that's digital only, so relatively useless. I have my original PSP that Sony gave me, which is something I don't really want to play with in case it falls apart. I've got the PSP 3000, and I've got another PSP 1000 here. But like I said, the 2000 has the best screen. Not only that, but the PSP has a huge back catalogue of stunning games for the console. It was the 3rd or 4th best-selling handheld console of all time, and so the catalogue of games that you get for the console is just stunning. And it's because of this, games like White Knight Chronicles Origins is the reason why 2021 is the year I've decided to really go after the PSP. Because games like this in the last year or two have gone up in price significantly. White Knight Chronicles here, for example, will set you back to almost the original price that the game sold for. In fact, the PSP is growing in popularity. It's always been a popular console, and not just when Sony was supporting it. Its emulation and mod scene have helped secure it as one of the best handheld consoles to run retro gaming emulation on. And as we go into 2021, there's no sign that the cost of these games is going to go down at all. In fact, when I used to go into a store and pick up 5 or 6 games for about £10, $13, I can now go into a shop and buy one game for that price. The PSP is becoming more and more popular because the people who were children and teenagers at the time of it coming out are now young adults, and they can afford to buy these old games that they have a huge amount of nostalgia for. Games like Power Stone, Dungeons and Dragons, Ridge Racer, Ease, and Tekken are all seeing big jumps in price over the last 6 months. Now, those of you that have been part of the Retro Gamer Boy community for a while will know that I do not buy to sell, but I do buy to play. And there are a ton of games out there on the PSP that I desperately would want to get my hands on before I start having to pay Mega Drive prices for games that I love. Another thing that I've seen go up in price are UMD films. And UMD films have never been popular on the PSP, even at the height of its success. But as I found out recently, even my hyper super modern streaming services sometimes don't stock the films that I want to watch. And so it's made me want to pick up some of the films that I absolutely love, films like Kung Fu Hustle, that don't necessarily make it to these streaming services. And again, with UMD films going up in price and the popularity of them growing, picking them up for the PSP in 2021 may be the wise choice. Now, at the beginning of the show, I also said that I wanted to pick myself up a new PSP console. And it is the 2000 because it has that better screen. Now, the reason why I want to do this is for the same reason I want to pick up the games in the UMD films. The cost of this console in particular is starting to go up in price. To pick up a good conditioned PSP 2000, you can pay over £100, $130. Now, there are some that are still going cheaper, but as people start to get wise to the quality of the PSP 2000 and the popularity of this little handheld grows, so the price will go up and the number of units available for people to buy will go down. I also love the media that you got with the PSP. The UMD is such a quirky little physical media device to have for a console, probably the quirkiest I've seen on any console. Now these discs are marketing and prototype discs that are available for the PSP. Now again, at the moment you can still get them on eBay, so if you jump on there you can pick them up, but they're fast disappearing. And one of the coolest prototype discs that I have for the PSP is the Comics app. And on this UMD disc, there are 3,000 comics available for me to browse and read. And here's just some of the prototype and marketing UMDs that I've got in my collection. So we've got the comic book viewer. There's the passport to Rome. I don't know if anyone remembers these. You used to get like a GPS attachment. I've actually got one, and you could go around on your holiday and get like, I guess, a tourist's guide to the place you were visiting. SOCOM Fireteam Bravo, World Rally Championship, Ape Escape, SOCOM Tactical Strike, Namco Museum, and Lemmings. So that's why I'm going to be picking up a PSP and collecting it in 2021. It's a stunning console that's growing in popularity, and I desperately want to pick up some of those games that I had a huge amount of nostalgia for or just didn't get the opportunity to play. Now I'm going to dispense with my normal goodbye because I'm off to go play some Ridge Racer.